All right, so have you ever wanted just a little piece of the Babe to call your own? Well, this might look like an ordinary old autographed bat to you, but to baseball fans, it is a living link to history, the beginning of the Yankees World Series dynasty. And it's just one of the rare items up for sale next week. David Hunt from Hunt Auctions joins us now from New York to talk about all these impressive items that are going to be up on the auction block on Tuesday to coincide with the All-Star game. Thanks for being with us today.
Great to be here.
Okay, let's get to it. The Babe Ruth bat. Tell us a little bit about the history and how much you think that thing's going to fetch.
Well, in our industry, obviously, it kind of starts and ends with Babe Ruth. This is, virtually the inception of the Yankees World Championship run. 1923, this is a game-used bat that Ruth used, attributed to the 1923 World Series, in which they played the New York Giants. And in and of itself, it's almost a 41-ounce bat. And if you think about what the players use today, mostly about 33 to 35 ounces, it's very impressive to see how he could have hit those sort of home runs with this type of bat. Most interestingly, if you look down at the barrel of the bat is actually autographed to my friend Art Neff from Babe Ruth, October 15th, 1923. Now, in and of itself, just being autographed by Ruth, it almost makes it about a $100,000 plus bat just being signed. But Neff literally gave up a home run to Babe Ruth in the 6th game of the 1923 World Series, which ended up being the clinching game to the Yankees' first World Championship.
All right, so, okay, with that history, I'm almost afraid to ask. Any idea how much you're going to get for this?
Well, I think the whole thing about this piece and the beauty of this sort of auction, especially the one at Major League Baseball's All-Star Game, which is such a premier event, you don't know. I mean, we had one last year that was not quite as nice as this. We estimated 100 to 200,000. That brought almost 500,000. This one's estimated at 200 to 300, and we certainly think it'll do that, if not more.
You know, here's the thing, though. When you look at items like that and the history behind them, you almost wonder, why would someone want to put that on the auction block? Who are the people that put these things up for auction?
It's a good question. I mean, we deal with a lot of players' families, estates, collections, and everybody has a different reason. If you think about it, all of us, we don't keep everything that's passed down to us. So, everybody has different reasons, but the one common thread that they all kind of like is these things really do go to people that appreciate them, have them exposed to the public, just like your viewers, that they can see things and really a part of baseball history.
All week long you've allowed people to come in and bring the items and see if they're worthy to go up for auction. And in fact, you got something that was really cool. Barry Bonds' 749th home run ball, is that correct? Yeah,
it's a great thing that Major League Baseball does every year at this event. They have free appraisals where we literally have experts on staff that just like a road show, if you will, where they'll bring in items and we'll appraise them for them. And the young man who caught Barry Bonds' home run ball in front of a group of very unhappy, I might add, Yankee fans in San Francisco, brought it in. It'll be added in late into the auction. And it's always fun because you see people bring things in they think are going to be worth a lot of money that aren't, and then vice versa. There's always that one gem where they bring it in, they think it's going to be worth, a few $100s, and ends up being 10 or 20,000.
My goodness. And talking about some gems here, you've got Ted Williams' jersey along with Willie Mays. Give us some history on those.
Well, the Ted Williams jersey, 1955 road flannel jersey from the Boston Red Sox, all original. And that is part of the desirability of a jersey like this. Many times these jerseys were handed down to minor league players, which is how they kind of got out there, as you asked earlier, into the public hands. And then they would be altered. They'd change the team name from Boston and Norfolk, or the number 9 to the number 6. This one survived intact. In fact, back in the 1960s, it was actually auctioned in a Boston area charity auction for $50. So a pretty good return.
I don't think you're going to get that thing for $50 in the auction on Tuesday.
No, we're going to add a few zeros onto that. It should be about $50,000 to $75,000.
Wow.
So a real nice return on that buy.
And it's not just bats and jerseys. Even baseball cards can bring in a whole lot of money. You've got one from, I guess, one that deals with Ty Cobb. Is that true? Yeah,
this is kind of an unusual card in that it's a Boston Garter Ty Cobb card. And you might ask, well, what does that mean? Boston Garter was the garters that were used to hold up the baseball players' stockings. And this was issued within the box of the garters. And as such, obviously a pretty rare thing to have survived, especially in this beautiful condition. And if you look back to these early cards, most of them are color lithographic art. It really very attractive and a lot of eye appeal, which attracts collectors today. And this, again, being one of 2 copies known, should be about $40,000 to $60,000, so very valuable.
That is wonderful. And very quickly, we have to go, but if there was any one item that you would like to take home, what would that be?
Well, you always hear about the 1932 called shot from Babe Ruth. That home run ball would be great. Last year, we had his first home run in the history of the All-Star game, and that brought $800,000. So we'd love to top that one.
All right, well, you got to have a whole lot of money to get any of these items. David Hunt joining us, in fact, from San Francisco. Again, the auction is on Tuesday, and it will coincide with the All-Star Game. Thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
And again, you know my birthday's coming up. So
It is coming up. I don't know
there.
if I have that kind of money. I might get you a regular baseball card. It probably won't be Ty Cobb's.